not say that. So you're telling me there's a chance? Oh, Jesus, help.
Well, hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption Podcast. It's your boy, Cam. Hey, for the first time ever, I'm actually listening to myself through the headphones at real time, no latency. I don't know what the heck I did, but there's no latency. Anyway, first things first, let's show gratitude. Let's find ourselves here in the center. Inhale up, exhale down to Namaste. Just kidding. This episode is brought to you by On It. If you guys can see behind me, I've been stocking up. Yes, been stocking up. Got that Alpha Brain for the memory and focus. Got the Shroom Tech for the immune support. New Mood, rest and relaxation. Namaste. Got the Daily Greens. Got the Glutamine for that gut health. I've been preaching that. Got that gut health. And then I got one kettlebell back here. It's a 9-pound kettlebell. I'm stoked, man. I've been stuck on them kettlebell workouts. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a ton of fun. That one is the first one I got. You guys can't see it, but actually we're turning this room. This studio, my studio, will be our oldest daughter's room, the almost 3-year-old. But right now it's kind of our workout room. We got a Peloton bike in here. I want to gear up, get more kettlebells, so that way when it's just fitness time, like strength training days, I can do it here at the house. I don't have to pay. I'm paying like 5 freaking gym memberships right now, and I'm hoping to cut those down. What the heck happened with me this week? My weeks are so unentertaining right now just because I work Monday through Friday. I'm sitting at work all day, taking care of patients, stuff like that. It's been good. Yeah, not a whole lot has happened, really. So with this, we've got a ton to talk about. There's a ton in what I'm gonna start calling. I've noticed that what this is me really giving my opinion and my take and how I look at things with hot topics in the news. So most of today will probably be just talking about hot topics in the news these days, because for real, not much has really been happening. We just went, we took the little baby to go see Santa. That was interesting, and we just literally got back here a few minutes ago. And man, the mall has gotten to be a crazy place. It's gotten to be a crazy place. When I was a kid, maybe I just didn't pay attention to it, but like, I've never noticed how many people walk around the mall with such sour expressions on their face. They're mugging all the time. Why is everyone at the mall mugging? I don't get it. I don't get it though. There's people walking around like with this bebop gangster walk, and they're like staring people. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you so mad about hanging out in front of the Rue 21? Like, chill the fuck out. You're not at the mall to gangbang. What the hell is going on? Like, everybody's just in a bad mood at the mall, dude. You don't have to shop here. It's the 21st century. Buy shit on fucking Amazon if you hate being out in public that much. I just don't get it. Everybody that I saw just looked like they were being held there against their will. Now, I get it a little bit. Parents, if you're shopping for your kids, I can get that completely sucks. Significant others, if you got pulled there by your spouse, I get it. That could not be the best time. But just freaking smile. I don't know. I don't know what you guys' malls are like, but here we got like there's little motorcycle games in the middle. Go get on one of those and freaking brighten up, Buttercup. You sourpuss. There's just no reason to be like that. It literally looked like I was walking through Compton. There was dudes in like one-piece Dickie suits, like one-piece Dickies with the long like tube socks with the Converses, standing there mugging, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? We're in Clarksville, Tennessee. Ain't no gangbanging going on here. What the fuck is everyone so upset about? But that's what we just did. The wife got a haircut. got a haircut. She deserves it. She hasn't gotten a haircut in like over a year. So today was the day. It was time. And then of course we took our little schnookies. To go see Santa. And she was sleeping the entire time, so the lady at the booth had a really cool idea and was like, hey, why don't we just do Sleepy Santa? And when what that means, if you guys haven't seen it, is literally Santa lays down and acts like he's asleep, baby's asleep on his chest. I thought that was really cool. It was funny though, because like even now as an adult, you see, you're like, oh man, it's Santa. Oh fuck. Guys, if you're listening and you don't know Santa's not real, it's not my fault. Your parents shouldn't let you listen to my fucking show anyway. But like, you still get excited. You're like, oh man, it's Santa and it's the Wonderland. It's all set up. This Santa, when they told him, hey, we're gonna do Sleepy Santa, he was like, I don't know what that is. She was like, you lay down, and she was trying to show him. And when she said, you got to put your feet up on the side of the chair, he goes, he rolled his eyes. He was like, oh. You could tell he was just like, y'all didn't tell me I was gonna have to move. My job is to sit here and smile and look like freaking Santa. I didn't know I was going to be doing aerobics and putting my feet up and stretching. This ain't yoga class, dog. Take the picture. But it was pretty cool. It was cool. I'm glad that she'll be 6 weeks old tomorrow. And we got her first Santa in the books. So now we can say we always have that. She had this cute little dress on. It was awesome. It was awesome. What else is going on? What else is going on with me? Not a whole lot. Been rolling. The jiu-jitsu's going well. I was happy with the last roll that I did. My intercostal sprain that I had here is gone away. Seems to be back to 100%. At least I'd say at least 90. Sometimes I feel it. Kickboxing went well. I actually need to text my coach and figure out what we're doing for this next week. And well, I guess we can touch on this. So a lot of you guys know that I'm on TOT, testosterone optimization therapy. I've been on it for about 3 months now. And my estrogen started getting a little high. Guys, if you are on TRT, or TOT as it's now called. It was called TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. Now they call it testosterone optimization therapy because you're supposed to be optimizing your life. You're not really replacing the testosterone, you're optimizing the testosterone that is in your body. My estrogen started to get a little high. So guys, for men out there who are listening and you wonder, hey, how would I know if my testosterone was starting to get a little high? You can get nipple tenderness, and I know that's funny. There's people that have been, he said nipples. Fucking grow up. Just kidding. Just kidding. I say it because it's uncomfortable. Yeah, so like for guys, if you get nipple tenderness, you'll see that dudes whose estrogen are starting to get pretty high, they're constantly pulling at their shirt like this, especially like bigger guys who have gotten what people call like man tits or whatever. I don't like that expression, especially because I work in a clinical setting where it's called gynecomastia. I don't like the term. I think it's wrong to use the term like bitch tits or man tits. That's wrong. You shouldn't say things like that because a lot of times people just don't know. They don't know what they're dealing with. And you don't realize how much it affects you to have your hormone levels all jacked up until you've looked at your hormone levels that are jacked up and go, oh, dude, that makes sense. So yeah, I started, and the reason that they're always pulling at their shirt like this is a lot of times it can feel like, I don't know if there's guys out there who have ever shaved their chest or if you've ever shaved your arms or whatever. I have, so I know what that feels like. Back when I was training for like physique competition, I used to shave my chest all the time, and it's just really itchy, especially around the nipple area where if you have like hair around your nipples, it can get kind of itchy. So you'll see they'll pull at their clothes, and for YouTube you can see I'm physically pulling on my shirt. And I started to notice I was doing that a lot, and I was like, God damn, like, why my shirt? And then I noticed that I was starting to retain water, and I'm looking, I'm like, oh, my estrogen's high. So I've now switched, I'm taking 3 injections a week now, not 3 at the same dose. I've broken my weekly dose up into 3, so that way my testosterone is being released more consistently throughout my week, not just one in the beginning of the week, one towards the end, and allowing my estrogen to spike halfway through the week or towards the end of the week. So that's kind of cool. I haven't done it long enough yet, the 3-time injection, to really notice the difference. I'm not having like the nipple tenderness, and I've definitely noticed that my water retention has gone down. That's dope. Guys, if you're getting hot flashes, nipple tenderness, water retention, you feel like you're getting moody, hey man, go get your levels checked. It's never a bad idea to know what your levels are. Even if you're not contemplating getting on T at all, go and get your levels checked. You should always know how to optimize your life, and especially, I've noticed it a lot with, like, me being a veteran. Veterans have very shitty lifestyles while they're in. Sleep is shit, food usually not the best, stress levels are high, you live on nicotine, caffeine, and that's it. That does a number on your testosterone. It does a number on all your hormone levels. So if you've ever, man or woman, if you've served in the military, get your levels checked. Figure out what the fuck's going on. Because vets walk around all the time going, oh man, you know, I just feel like shit, but, you know, I'm a vet. We all do, you know, caffeine and a few ibuprofen. No. It's not caffeine and a few ibuprofen, drink some water, take a knee. It's not that bullshit. Don't play into those silly fucking games because it was cool to say while you were in. It's not fucking cool to live shitty, because what happens is, as vets, you say these things, oh, well, you know, got busted knees, busted shoulders, take a knee, drink water, take some ibuprofen. Yeah, and then 5 years down the road, we're all walking around wearing Mission 22 shirts wondering why guys are killing themselves. And it's because, look at the shitty things we've done to our bodies and we don't get them followed up on. Luckily, we're getting better about following up on the anxiety, the depression, all this, and then we're getting tossed on all these meds, but we're not checking our actual makeup or hormones. Check them. Figure out what the fuck's going on. If you can bring your test levels up and bring your energy up, guess what? That brings your mood up. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from a medical standpoint here. I'm speaking from experience. When I got on TOT, my mood drastically improved. My anxiety drastically improved. My depression drastically improved. My energy levels much higher. I feel better. Guys, if you're out there and you're suffering, it's nothing. It's worth whatever the money is to get your levels checked. I'm speaking to you, and I'm not telling you where I work or hey, come see me at work. I'm telling you, go where you can and get your shit checked. I don't really recommend doing it through the VA. They're going to check the bare minimum. Go to a place that specializes in like testosterone therapy or something like that and get your levels checked. Know what the fuck is going on. Man, oh man. We're already 13 minutes into this thing. What a day, huh? I hope your guys' week is going well. What's been going on? We launched the new website. Nothing real crazy has been going on over there. I made it so that way my sponsors had a place where you guys could all go, minus the Instagram. I try not to be super salesy on the Instagram. I really try hard not. It's just not cool. I don't like. Now, yes, I do it because it's a part of what I do on there. Sorry, YouTube. I just stood up and completely went off camera for a second. It's hard to not, because again, with some of my sponsors, that's how I got them, is my Instagram following and whatever. But I try not to sell. But the cool thing is like I work with companies that I actually use. So I can talk about the benefits of Alpha Brain in one post, right? And then in another post, I could completely talk about the benefits of Shroom Tech. Now, I try not to do that. But today, I showed my kettlebell workout, and then I told how cool it was that you could do like a kettlebell workout from home. I told you where you can find some and how to save some money on it using my code, right? So if you go to Onnit and use code CAM10, you can get kettlebells relatively cheap. You could probably get a set of them of 3 or 4 for probably $75, something like that, and bam, now you can work out from home. I think that that's a valuable product placement where I'm not shoving it down your throat, right? So I wanted a place where outside of the Instagram I could just put those guys up. Onnit, Guyeki, thank you guys so much. Clinch Gear, they really do, guys. If you're looking for good fitness shorts, They really do have some awesome stuff. And then Breakpoint, the hat that I'm wearing right now. I know I'm sounding like a fucking advertisement right now. I work with great companies. I'm not gonna lie. I work with great companies, and where I don't, it's not like it's life changing for me to work with any of them. They're not paying me salaries or anything like that. I just am honored to be a part of the teams that I'm a part of, and I wanted to do what I can to promote them even more. I threw up a little Squarespace website. You can go ahead and check it out. If you guys following me at Cam Williamson Official on Instagram, go to the Linktree link in my bio. You'll see it, Cam's website. Go check it out. Nothing big on there yet. I'm hoping as I kind of grow and as I expand, I'll toss more up there. You can actually find the links to this podcast on there. I'm hoping to get better with it and figure out what all I can really do with that. Anywho, let's jump into it. We're 15 minutes in. Let's jump in and see what the first one we have. All right, let's get the elephant out of the room. Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard got busted out on Twitter by a trans man. The man said that Dwight Howard and his people had threatened his life, her life. I don't know what he wants to be called. I'm not sure. Dresses like a woman, but is very, very clearly a man. Came out, said that Dwight Howard cheated on him, her, whatever. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Something just started coming through my headphones. Sounds like a daggone airplane's flying over. Dwight Howard came over. Apparently Dwight Howard cheated on this person, and then Dwight Howard, or this person was like, hey, I'm gonna out you. Dwight Howard started sending death threats to the person's house, or to the person, and she said, hey, you keep doing this, and screw this, I'm putting it out all on blast. So they did. Dwight Howard came out to be, I don't think Dwight Howard has said anything at all. Now, here's the only point that I wanted to make about all this. I'm all for equality. I'm all for be who you want to be. I talked about it in the last episode. I'm not going to go deep into it. Be who you want to be. Love who you want to love. Dress how you want to dress. I don't give a shit. But when, as the LGBTQ, I think that's their only acronym still to this point. LGBTQ, I think that's it. As a community, if you want to be treated as equal, guess what? If this is true, which I don't know, if this is all true, you guys should be really, really pissed at this individual. And let me tell you why. Because this individual is using their trans status and Dwight Howard's alleged status of gay or bisexual or whatever he is, they're using that as a weapon against him. Now, do you want to be equal, or do you want your lifestyle to be weaponized? Let's not get it fucked up here, right? You can't be an equal and then also say, ooh, I'm gonna out you for this. Well, what are you really outing? If this is supposed to be all good, right, and this is nothing. Now, Dwight Howard hasn't come out and said, hey, I'm this, hey, I'm that. And it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. He shouldn't have to do that. His life is his fucking life. But for you to go, I'm going to ruin your life. Okay, so you're acknowledging that bringing this out would ruin Dwight Howard's life. Huh. Why is that? Why is that? It's supposed to be okay. Or is it maybe you understand that people don't perceive it the way it should be perceived? Right? It should be perceived as completely normal. Nobody gives a fuck. But you understand that it isn't. You understand that putting his laundry out on the line is going to cause some shade to come his way. You get that. And where you had no problem being quiet, but now when it benefits you, you're ready to weaponize it and use it against him. That's fucked up. Now, things have come out. Things have been said that this, he, she, whatever, has done this to several people. They don't know how true it all is anymore. Dwight Howard has done, I think, the smart thing and just not said anything. I think if it's not true, the best thing you could do is honestly just let it go. If it is true, I mean, who gives a fuck? At this point, he ought to just come out and say, hey, yeah, this is what I do, this is who I am. And, I mean, Dwight Howard's been in the league forever. I don't know who at this point would be like, dude, I'm not really comfortable being in the locker room with you. He'd be like, we've been in the locker room together for years. What the fuck does it change now that you know what I do when I'm not here? Who gives a shit, right? Unfortunately, again, that's not the way we live. That's not the reality of it. He would most definitely probably, his career would probably suffer from it. And if y'all are walking around thinking that there's not gay athletes in the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, y'all are out your mind. You're out of your mind. They're out there. And they should be able to be who they are, right? I get it. Not everybody's comfortable with it, but guess what? Grow the fuck up. Grow the fuck up. Somebody like Jim Jeffries, who I was watching on Theo Vaughn's podcast, said something really, really interesting. I found it to be interesting. And he was like, hey, look, you know what? If you're 100 years old, right? If you're 80 years old or older, you have a pass to not be accepting of gay relationships or transgender. You get that pass because you have to think about how they grew up, right? They grew up for 80 years that this is wrong, this is whatever. You're not going to change their mind. You're not. You're not. Now, you can't make a blanket statement like that and say you'll never change anyone's mind. I'm sure some of you out there have really awesome grandparents who are down with whatever you choose to do. I get it, right? In general, somebody who lived through World War II is probably not going to be so accepting if their great-grandson Brandon shows up to Thanksgiving in a dress. They're not going to know how to process that shit, right? Especially if he shows up in a dress kissing another dude, you get a pass from me. If you're 60 and older, right? 60 years old, you get that pass from me. I'm not going to try to sell you on that too much, right? I thought that was a pretty neat way to say it, but we're in a time now. We're in a very unique time where we feel like everybody has to be okay with everything. No, we don't. If you don't like something, don't fucking like it. Keep your reservation to yourself out in public. You're in public. The general community. Out in that general community, people like different things. You're not going to go out and hate someone because in their spare time, they happen to listen to country music while you listen to rock and roll. And the person who listens to rock and roll isn't going to go up and tell the dude that likes rap that he's a complete piece of shit and he's going to burn in hell forever. The conversation really shouldn't show up. Now, if you're walking down the CD aisle at Target and you just so happen that this person's looking at an MGK album while you're looking at a whatever the fuck, Metallica, you're probably going to go, nah, that dude's a fucking douche. That's as simple as it needs to be. Yeah, that guy's a fucking douche. Who would listen to that noise? And walk off. If you're walking down the street seeing two dudes holding hands and that really fucks with you, go, I don't really care for that, and walk off. Who gives a fuck? You're allowed to not like shit. We act like in today's day and age, you have to like everything that's in front of your face. Me and my wife can't eat mushrooms. Don't like them. I don't like them anyway. She's allergic to them. She'll die if she has them. But that doesn't mean I want fucking mushrooms to burn in hell forever, right? Just not my thing. Not my thing. I personally believe you should be able to do whatever you want. Whoever makes you happy and doing whatever makes you happy, I feel like you should do that. 365 days a year. Now, just understand, not everyone's like me. So, when you show up to Thanksgiving, if you choose to go, if you know where your family stands on your lifestyle and the way that your life is, and they don't accept, hey, guess what? You got the right to not fucking go. You have that right. Not everyone has to like the shit that you do, and therefore they can withdraw their support at any time. That's their right. They have to live with the consequences of what they do. But at the same time, there are going to be feelings and emotions attached to that get put on you that you didn't choose to have. But guess what? That's life. Life is not always fair. We've heard it 1,000 times. You have family, and I can say this because I know she doesn't listen. My sister and I don't talk. Don't really talk. Never had a good relationship. She kind of raised me a lot of the time. My parents always worked. So my sister has always seen me as a nuisance and as an annoyance. Always has, always will. I'm cool with that. Now, as I get older and I have kids and stuff like that, I would like for my kids to know their aunt. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. My sister just got married. She eloped. Didn't tell me. I found out through my mom. Again, I don't agree really with some of the stuff that she does. Like she's going on this nomad expedition where she's turned a school bus into her like apartment, and they're going to go live and just drive around the country in this school bus. My thing is I fear for her security, but guess what? It's not my life. I don't get the right to tell my sister how to live her life. With her, whatever her issues are against me, I don't. That gives me some sort of feeling. I feel some type of way about that, and I'm entitled to feel some type of way. But she feels some type of way about me. I don't have to accept her feelings, and she doesn't have to accept mine. They are what they are. Sometimes you've got to go. This is just shitty. It's not ideal, but guess what? It is what it is. I say it all the time. It is what it is. I cannot make somebody want to be a part of my life. I can't force them to let me be a part of theirs. I can't force you to even sit down and have a conversation with me so we can talk some shit out. So maybe, even though I don't agree with your life, is it not possible that I wish you nothing but the best and I still have genuine love in my heart for you? Absolutely it is. Anytime you want to come into my life and you want to see, she would want to see her family, that's okay. And I feel like in all situations that's to be the case. If your brother or sister came out to you and told you that they were gay, you may have some of the similar feelings that my sister and I have, where we just don't really communicate, things have happened and we've kind of kept our distance. That could happen in the beginning. But I feel like if you listen to this podcast, you're probably the type of person who's willing to go, hey, I may overreact in the beginning. I may have my reservations. I may feel this. I may feel that. But I'm still willing to love you, and I'm still willing to support you, right? And I'm not asking you to change who you are to be a part of my life. No one should ever have to change who they are to be a part of your life. If that's the case, on either side, you two are not meant to be in a relationship, whether that be romantic, family, friends, whatever. If you feel like you have to change who you are to be around people, you don't have any business being around those people. So, shout out to Dwight Howard, man. I hope it all gets cleared up, especially if it's a bunch of bull. I don't know how he's going to play it. I know he's catching a ton of heat right now, and yeah, it sucks. Sucks that his alleged lifestyle is being used against him, especially in a time where we're supposed to be so accepting and so tolerant. I think it's kind of fucked, and I think that the LGBTQ community should really go after this person and make an example out of him. That, if it's really not a choice and it's really not an option and, whatever, I think that they should make an example out of that person. You don't get to ruin someone's life, especially when they're not doing anything wrong. Speaking of not doing anything wrong, this person cannot say they didn't do anything wrong. The guy that was killed because he went to a remote island to share Jesus with these people, this indigenous tribe that was on an island. Here's my first thing. Okay, I was in youth group, and I actually was thinking about going to school to be a youth pastor and all these things. So I get it. I've been on ministry missions before. I know what it is to feel like you have the burning desire to share the word of Jesus. First thing, right? if somebody is living on an island surrounded by nothing but water, those people don't want to be fucked with, right? They're not interested. Not interested in whatever it is you're selling, whether it's Jesus or Tupperware or Herbalife. They don't fucking care, right? They've chosen to live on this remote little thing to stay the fuck away from people. That's would be the first thing that I thought, right? That would be my first thing. Second, kind of bleeding over into what we just talked about. How fucking dare you for thinking that your agenda to spread your religion on these people is more important than their daily lives and the way that they live. Those people, whatever that is, I don't know what group they are called or whatever, they're an indigenous tribe. I don't know if I'm using the word indigenous right. Let's see, because I'm a fucking moron. You guys know sometimes I talk and I don't use words as they're meant to be used, and I don't want to say anything offensive. I don't think indigenous, define indigenous. Originating or occurring naturally in a particular place. So a native, yeah, they're an indigenous tribe to whatever that little fucking thing is. Now, wherever that is, the overseeing government of that place has said, hey, that's yours. We're not going to come there and fuck with you. You guys do whatever it is you want to do. You have sanctuary there to do whatever it is you guys do. We're not going to fuck with you, right? That's number two. They have a federal clearance by whoever their government is to say, hey, we recognize you as your own shit, right? But again, how fucking dare you? Your agenda to spread God to you was more important than their daily lives. Fuck you, dude. I'm sorry, but fuck you. And I get it. Like I said, right? I've been a part of missionary trips before. And one of the big reasons that I don't participate in organized Christianity is because it's a whole lot of that. It's a whole lot of, well, we have to go tell these people about God because what if they've never heard it, then they would never know. If they wanted to hear what other people's thoughts were, they wouldn't live on a fucking island with water separating them from everybody else. They're not fucking interested, right? They're cool with skinning fish on a fucking rock and throwing spears at each other. They don't give a fuck. They don't want to hear it. But this guy, who I think was a fucking lunatic to begin with, if you saw some of the videos he was making before he went out, he was, well, I hope I don't die out here. Glory be to God if I do, though. I hope nothing happens to me. I need to go share the word with these people. You're a psycho. You went on a suicide mission. You're a lunatic. What the fuck, dude? I'm sorry. You got what you fucking signed up for. Imagine, I wonder if I could pull it up. I bet I can. I bet I can. Ace Ventura Island scene. Ace Ventura. I never knew the Wachutus were biters. Island. Let's see. Scene. If you guys don't know this scene, shame on you. Here it is. When Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, full tribal fight. This is how I saw this going. I mean,
Preparation is well founded, but I am merely a servant. Do not worship me!
they threw him.
Jesus, you have passed all tests but one. Only left is Wachutu Circle of Death. Funny! That's my specialty. That's my specialty.
I never knew the Wachutus were biters. They throw the spear at him and he goes, For those of you that are just listening, you guys can check out the YouTube video and I'm actually showing the clip. So he's fighting this really big Wachutu guy and he's got a little Wachutu guy on his back. Big dude puts a little one down. And that's actually a really famous comedian. I forget his name though.
This is it. I have to beat
Him.
Alrighty then. I must tell you, I do not wish to fight you. Violence is no longer in my nature, but if you want it, you got it, sister. I was unaware that the Wachengos were fighters.
Anyway, you get it. Towards the end, he throws a spear at him.
But he must kill you now.
Oh.
This white devil thing has gone far enough. Nobody messes with the Jew.
He's just kicking his ass. Anyway, there's a point where he throws a spear at him and he's going, huh? That's kind of how I saw that whole thing going. From an indigenous standpoint. Or, I keep saying indigenous. Indigenous is not the right word. They're a secluded tribe off into their own thing. Again, Ace Ventura went over to their thing. Got fucked up. It happens. Sorry that it, you know. Hey man, don't go trying to press your beliefs on other people and you ain't gonna get your shit kicked in. Sorry about that. Alright, let's get the big one out of the way. The migrants, the caravans that are going to our border right now, and everyone's in a big uproar because migrant children are being OC sprayed. Here's my unpopular opinion on that, probably. Probably unpopular in the day and age that we live in. Look, I've talked about it before. If you bring your kids across the border illegally, and you get separated from them, and whatever, you know, if you try to join some nomad caravan where you know that you're going to go try to cross a border, multiple borders, illegally to go claim asylum, but you choose to do it by throwing rocks and busting shit up, right? If you put your children in that situation, you should have your children taken away from you forever. You are not fit to be a parent. I get it. I would do anything to protect my kids, but I'm not going to put them in danger's way, right? I would do it the right way. So if your fucking kid gets maced because you're putting them through a bunch of bullshit, that's not on Border Patrol of the United States. That's on you. You got your fucking kid maced. Because guess what? It's the Border Patrol and the Army's job to keep the Americans safe. We don't know who the fuck you are. We don't know if you're using these kids to get through the border and appear to be a happy, healthy family, whatever. It ain't flying like that, Jack. And not to mention, what parent would let their child lead to where you're not catching the brunt of that OC? Man, you did that to them. You got them fucked up. And the other part I want to mention too is, I've been OC sprayed before. Got it done in the military when I was, training to go deploy to Guantanamo Bay. Had to get OC sprayed. It fucking sucks. It's terrible. It's one of the big reasons that I chose not to go civilian law enforcement. But guess what? I'm not gonna die. You're gonna be alright. You know, again, that's a blanket statement. I'm sure there's people with allergies. I'm sure there's people with asthma. It's the same thing. When I said there was a 11-year-old girl that got fucking tased in Cincinnati. And I was like, guess what? Shouldn't have been breaking the law. She'll be alright. And everyone's like, well, actually, a taser, if shot correctly, could stop your heart. Taking too cold of a shower can stop your fucking heart. Let's not play these games. Let's not play like shit doesn't fucking happen out of nowhere. I'm saying, in general, your kid's gonna be alright. They're gonna think you're a fucking asshole for letting them get maced. Promise that. You set them up for that shit. Don't be mad at the fucking military and the Border Patrol for doing their job. You did that to them. That's it. I thought that was going to have to go off on a lot longer tangent than that. But hey, you got your kid fucked up. Do the right thing. Go through the checkpoints. Don't join a mass group of caravan who you don't even know everybody in there. Why would you put your seal of approval on a caravan with a bunch of people that you don't know? And you don't know their agenda. You're going to get tied into the worst one every single time. In every group, the one who fucks up is the loudest, and that's everybody in that group gets guilty by association. That's the way it works. You cannot like it. You cannot be a fan of it. But guess what? It's the way it is. It's the way it fucking is. If there's one gang member or shithead or jerk in that group, he will be the loudest. That's why everyone's talking about the dipshits that were throwing rocks at the Border Patrol. One Border Patrol agent fucking died because people were throwing rocks and one killed him. Guess what? You're all going to be labeled animals now. They're not all animals. There's good people there that just want help. They were suckered into joining this caravan and told that this was the only way they could do it. It's not, and it's not their fault, but at the same time, got to be smarter. Got to make better life choices, right? I'm not saying you don't need help coming from wherever you're coming from. Do it the right way. Doing it the wrong way is only going to get you fucked up. Trust and believe you're going to get fucked up if you try to cross our border without doing it the right way. Just, again, people can be upset about it. People can be upset, but hey, if you like the cotton candy cloud of a bed that you sleep in so safely at night, that you think that this world should be so forgiving and so tolerant, go to Juarez, Mexico. Go to Juarez, Mexico and see if some of those motherfuckers are so tolerant to the way you think life should be. Because I promise you, you're not going to be there long. Not alive anyway. You'll be there. You'll be buried out in the fucking desert. Out in the middle of El Paso, Texas somewhere. Go. Go to Juarez, right across the border from El Paso, Texas, where I've been. Fort Bliss. I've seen Juarez. You can hear the gunfire from across the mountain. Go over there. Do it illegally. Go wander across the fucking desert. Guess what you're going to find? You're going to find a fucking mule running drugs who found you and now has to fucking kill you because you've seen too much. Fuck around if you want. Johnny Boy and I have a phrase that we say all the time. Play silly games, you're going to win silly prizes every motherfucking time. Play silly games, win silly prizes. Next, this one was upsetting. This one was upsetting. Holy balls, this one's negative so far. I promise it's going to get better. I promise. I think this is actually our last negative one. No, we got one more negative one. I'll knock that out after this. The guy was shot. I'll give the full detail spectrum of the story. There was a black man who was shot, I believe in a mall, during what was a confirmed active shooter. There was an active shooter in a mall. The man was legally possessing a firearm. Police roll up. Dude's drawn, looking for the shooter. Guy gets gunned down. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. The guy was a service member. He was carrying his weapon legally. He was doing what he had been trained to do. Protect and defend. Right? Those cops are fucking wrong. Now, they've already come out and made themselves look like assholes on a few different times. They called the cop who shot him. They called him a hero. They said that he killed the active shooter. That came out to be a load of horse shit. They killed the innocent guy who was only trying to help. They said that he was wielding a weapon, which is not true. He had a weapon. He was trying to help, and he was gunned down. My jiu-jitsu coach actually made a very good point, and it's a point that we try to act like that's not real. Now, I'm not one that preaches a whole lot of white privilege stuff. it's there. It's definitely there. I acknowledge, especially someone who's been through the justice system a few times, that I have had privilege at some point because I am a white male, and people, attorneys, defense prosecutors have looked and gone, hey, this isn't a bad kid. He's just a kid that fucked up. Let's not ruin his life by throwing him in jail for 7 to 10 years even though he continuously keeps drinking and driving. I acknowledge that there's been that. But in this situation, we have become very accustomed to watching black men be gunned down. And we become so okay with it, and it's almost desensitized us. Even me, like I come from a military police background. I'm used to hearing negative shit and being prepared for negative shit. So that's why, like, some people probably listen to this podcast and go, God bless, dude. Like, how negative is this? And it's not supposed to be. But it's out there. It is out there. And if you don't address it, not addressing it doesn't make it not real. It just makes you ignorant to it. I've talked about this in an early podcast. Ignorance is knowing something is there and choosing not to pay attention to it. Not being educated on a subject is knowing that something is there, but you still having the opportunity to learn more. We as a country have become desensitized to black men especially being gunned down by police. Now, I've said it 1,000 times and I almost don't want to fucking say it again, but it's going to be the one episode that I don't say it that's going to get clipped up and cropped and whatever, and it's going to be Cam Williamson says police are pieces of shit. I'm not saying that. I think most police are good. We have a problem in police where black men keep getting fucking shot when they're not doing anything wrong. Now, I'm not saying that every black man that gets shot wasn't doing anything wrong. People do dumb shit, right? White, black, doesn't matter. People do dumb shit. This guy was not doing anything wrong. He got shot, he got killed, and guess what? Even me, and I hate to admit this, I see it on the news. I see that he got shot, that he got killed, and I'm going, oh man, that's fucking terrible. That's terrible. I see the line of people marching down the street in whatever town this is, no peace, or no justice, no peace. I'm like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, that's his family. His mother's heartbroken. His father's just being strong, but is tore up about it. Man, that fucking sucks. And then, guess what? I pick up my phone, and I start scrolling through Instagram, and I'm over it. But I shouldn't be over it. I should be fucking mad. And I am mad. And I want to talk from somebody who is a white male, acknowledging that there is a privilege there. But I also want to acknowledge that as a white male, we don't know how to change it. As much as you guys, on whoever the victim's side is, and this is for any victim, it doesn't just mean from a black man who was gunned down, and I'm not talking just to his family, I'm talking about anybody who is a legitimate victim, their supporters. As much confusion and anger and I don't know what to do that there's still that for us. People want to look at it as, well, white people don't give a shit because they're privileged. I recognize the white privilege, but I don't know what to fucking do about it. As a white man, military police, veteran, 26 years old, family man, podcaster in Tennessee, if you were to tell me, hey, you could do this, that, this, and that would really help, right? I would do it. I would do it. Now, I have this podcast. I use my platform to try to speak on things. And right now, all I can tell you to speak on it and to spread awareness, I can spread awareness that that's a terrible fucking name. A terrible thing that happened. Let me see. I'm sure I'm going to regret fucking typing this in. Shooting at Alabama Mall. The Reverend Amantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr. Amantic? I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. Amantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr., 21. Rest in peace to him, and I hope that justice comes for him, and I hope that his case is used as an example and actually does incite change. So I want to try to use my platform, right, to try to say that that situation, not all police, not all white people, none of that, that situation is fucking terrible, and someone should be fucked, right? Rightfully fucked for what happened to that kid. It was wrong. What I want to say to try to, I'm all about trying to close the divisional gap. We as white people don't fucking know what to do either. Right? It's just as heartbreaking. Now again, I can't speak for everyone. There are pieces of shit out there who are racist to their bones, that don't give a fuck. But I don't play that shit. Where I grew up, I had more black friends than I had white friends. Especially towards the end of my high school career. I don't have an issue with anybody for any way that they live or whoever they are, whatever they look like. So I feel like I can say, guys, there's sometimes we don't fucking know either. We don't know either. But we're not monsters because we don't know. You know, and that's so quick. And I'll move right into the next one because it kind of plays. Kareem Hunt, I think he's a running back or a wide receiver for the Kansas City 49ers. He beat the fuck out of this white lady because she called him the N-word. Now, she called him the N-word. That makes her a piece of shit. Right? Whether she meant it or not. They're in a heated discussion, whatever. That makes her a piece of shit for using that word. Now, I'm not one for like words hold all this power or whatever. But you said that to him in a derogatory way to piss him off. You're a piece of shit for doing that. But, guess what? Now, Kareem Hunt is a bigger piece of shit because you put your fucking hands on a woman and beat the fuck out of her. Why? You didn't have to do that. You could have let her be wrong, and when that tape came out, you could have used that to spread real awareness. Hey, she called me this, and I didn't fuck her up, even though I really could have. But now, everyone's talking about Kareem Hunt beats up a white woman because she called him the N-word, and now he's fucking wrong. Now, let me say this. I'm sure that he had some real emotional attachment to when she called him that. I'm sure. He was very offended. I'm sure he was. I'm sure, guessing, whatever happened before that word was said, leading up to the word being said, probably pissed him off a lot more. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Now, if he has a great-great-grandparent who's told him stories of when they were slaves and got their asses beat, and that word really does ring true to him because he's seen marks on family members' bodies from the horrific acts of shitty racist white people, hey, you got a legit fucking case here. But, as a grown fucking man, you should never, ever, ever, I don't give a fuck if you're white, black, Asian, don't give a fuck. As a man, you do not put your fucking hands on a woman. Now, I've had friends, right? My closest friends. They go, I just think it's absolute dog shit to say that there's never a reason to put your hands on a woman. That the women have never given men a reason to do it. I'm not saying they haven't. Let's not forget, I was in a very, very shitty marriage with a person that I hated for 5 years. Trust and believe, I know that women can give reasons to make you want to flip the fuck out. I get that. As a man, you have to have the mental fortitude to understand, and this is going to be a controversial thing too, because it's all about gender equality now. My wife and I talk about it all the time, because there was a UFC fighter that just got her ass beat by her husband too. And you're going, all right, that's a professional fighter who got her ass beat by her husband, who I'm pretty sure was a fighter too. I think. Not that it matters, but I think. Here's the thing. Now, if I go up against Ronda Rousey's going to fuck me up, right? Ronda Rousey's going to fuck me up. Let's not play games. Even though I've rolled jiu-jitsu for 2 fucking months and I've been doing kickboxing, Ronda Rousey's going to fuck my life up. Let's not play. Now, if I was to square off against my wife, my ex-wife, my mother, my sister, most common day women out on the street, right? Chances are I'm going to win. Not because I've trained for a few months in martial arts. It's because, in general, I can hold on to you, control you, manipulate your body because I'm stronger than you. Not because I work out, has nothing to do with that. Even if I never worked out a day in my life. My genetic makeup, my bone density is stronger than yours. I can overpower you. That's why I can hurt you. So, because of that simple fact, you don't put your fucking hands on a woman. Ever, never, don't fucking do it. Don't care what the reason is. Now, everyone loves to use this. I don't remember where it comes from. I think it was Bill Burr, but he might have been using it as an example too. And my buddy used it. He said, well, what if you come home from work and your wife has already drowned 2 of your kids and she's about to dunk your third? That doesn't give you grounds to put your hands on her. Yes. Yes. You have every ability, and you should have the ability, not just the right, but you should have the ability, you should know how to detain that person to where you're not striking them, you're not kneeing them, you're not kicking them. You are grabbing, controlling, eliminating any threat, weapon, eliminating that, controlling, detaining the person that is causing you or your family harm if it is a member of the opposite sex. Now, I'm not saying that, again, that's a blanket kind of statement. If Ronda Rousey was breaking into my house, right? I carry guns. I'm going to shoot your fucking ass. Hands down, I'm going to fucking shoot you. Now, if you were dunking my kids, more than likely I'm not going to try to detain you, especially if you're wielding a weapon. I'm going to drop you like the bad habit that you are. Right? Let's not play. People try to justify, I'm not saying that as one human being who happens to be female to another human being who happens to be male, that never in the history of ever has that individual never given this individual a reason to want to slap the fucking taste out of your mouth. Not saying that. I get it. Trust me, I get it. You don't do it. There's no reason. There's no way that you come out looking good or doing the right thing by putting your fucking hands on a woman. I don't give a fuck who you are. Whether you're an NFL player or a fucking mechanic, keep your hands off the women in your life. And for real, let's be honest, let's go more gender neutral here. Keep your fucking hands off of people. You don't have the right. I don't care what happens. If you don't have the mental maturity to either talk a situation down or remove yourself from a situation, there was a real situation in my past marriage where I'm standing in a bedroom, hands up here, taking body shots. Couldn't tell you what it was. I'm pretty sure I was drinking and I wasn't fucking supposed to be. I'm taking shots to my stomach and I'm backing up through a little alleyway thing that we had in the room, and I'm backing up and realizing I'm in real trouble. I'm in real trouble for one reason. I'm trying to get to the door that was behind her. I can't do that without either physically grabbing you and pushing you, but knowing if I do that, right, I'm going to go to fucking jail because I've now put my hands on you. Even if it was just push and throw to get to that door, I'm going to go to fucking jail. Because I got to figure out something else. What do? I turn around, start to move away. There's a window that's up off the ground. I had to open the window, kick the screen out, climb through the window. By that point, the police had been called by our neighbors. To say that there's no reason to ever hit a woman, I get what you guys are saying. To say there's not another option is just as asinine. Keep your fucking hands to yourselves. That's the last thing I'm going to say on that. We're an hour in already. Whew! And I am winded. I knew I should have brought another drink in here. Fucking moron. Alright, what do we got? Okay, so the Chuck and Tito fight, let's talk about that real quick. Guys, that fight should have never happened. That fight should have never happened. Oh, Notre Dame made the playoff. Number 3, baby! Number 3! We got Clemson, December 29th. But yeah, Chuck and Tito fight. Guys, go watch that highlight, or don't. You didn't miss much. Chuck got knocked out in like the first minute 45 of the fight, and he just had no reason being in that octagon. He came out very similar to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, which was a boxing match that just happened recently. They called it a draw. From everything I saw, Tyson Fury kicked the shit out of Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder maybe won 2 rounds, maybe. But it was a draw. It was a big fight. Everyone wanted to have a crowned winner. Tyson Fury came out and was like, look, I did this to show people who have mental challenges that you can do shit and you can battle back and you can fucking win. That's what this is about. And Chuck said the same thing. Respect to both those guys. That's why I love fighters. That's why I train, because I love that heart. I love that determination, and I can obviously connect with it. Battling back from being just in a shitty place in your life. Tyson Fury, if you guys haven't watched the Joe Rogan Experience episode with him where he talks about like about to drive his car off a cliff or off of a bridge, go watch it, man. It was real. And where, yes, Chuck really had no business stepping back into that octagon. He got his ass whooped, but it was something he wanted to do. It was something he wanted to prove to himself. So I'll keep that one short. If you guys want to see the highlights, go check it out. Other than that, I'll skip that one because it's just kind of stupid. I'll give you guys one more. This was a cool thought, again from a Joe Rogan episode with Jordan Peterson. Exposing yourself to new things unlocks a new part of yourself. I thought that was very neat. Jordan Peterson had pointed out that actually scientifically, in your makeup, when you expose yourself to new situations and things that make you uncomfortable, you unlock new parts of yourself, of your molecules, of your cells, of your DNA, of your genetic makeup. You unlock things, new potentials, new way of thinking, new ways to experience the world, right? So I want to encourage you guys, and then we'll end off on this because we're an hour and 3 minutes in. Go out, and I've said this especially for people who are in recovery, especially people with anxiety. If going to a movie theater makes you nervous, right? It makes you very anxious, like I used to get. I used to have panic attacks every time I went to a movie. Make it a point as often as you can afford. So if it's once a week, twice a week, once a month, whatever, go to a movie. Go see a movie. You may make it 10 minutes, and you might have to get up and leave. Do it. And then the next time, shoot for 30 minutes. And then the next time, shoot for an hour. And then eventually you'll see a whole fucking movie and it won't bother you. And every time you survive that experience, you unlock another part of yourself, and that's how you grow. Don't be afraid to try new things, meet new peoples, experience things, think about things in a new way. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. Thank you to Jordan Peterson for bringing that up, because that's something I've said for a long time, and now it's actually got some bearing behind it, not just an asshole on the internet who runs his mouth. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. It's Sunday night here, Sunday, December 2nd. I think we're going to put our tree up, maybe once we eat some dinner. I said that last week and I didn't fucking do it. Yeah, I want to thank you guys. I do. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. It means the world. If you guys haven't, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please subscribe and leave a review, guys. That really, really helps. I saw that 50% of the people that listen to this on iTunes have not subscribed. If you don't mind, just real quick while you're listening, click on it. Whatever you're doing, scrolling through Instagram while you're listening, or maybe you're working, go and hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. And then leave a review. Tell other people what they can expect from this podcast. That's how we grow. Even if you're listening on SoundCloud or Spotify, however you're listening, please hit that subscribe button. I don't know if you can leave reviews. And make sure that you're downloading these so for a later time, especially if you got something out of a particular part, you've got it downloaded, so maybe next time you're offline, or next time you just need to find it real quick because you're going to show it to somebody, pull up that download, baby. Skip to the part, show the part, live, laugh, and learn, man. Alright, I love you guys. That's going to be it for me. I will see you next week. If you guys want to submit anything to the show, at Cam Williamson Official on Instagram. I've got it tagged in the bottom now. And you got Road to Redemption Podcast at gmail.com. Love you guys, and I will chat with you later.